Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you started. So now I'm just reading the thread. So you started a new job, Abe?
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty cool. I went to interview for a internship for
Oh,
July,
terrific. Uh-huh.
and it's here in Rexburg at the Family Crisis Center,
Uh-huh.
and it was really weird because like randomly I interviewed with like four people, and it went really well, and I'm all excited, and I'm like, wow, they're really intense with just a an internship, you know. I'm like, this is weird, you know. And then all of a sudden they're like, so can you start tomorrow? I'm like, sure, you know, like cool, I guess I'm getting an internship done and over with. And then like the next day they're giving me all these like the W4 forms and all that, and I'm like, I'm really confused because if I'm not getting paid, then like why are they giving me all this tax stuff? Then like the following day I asked them like, yeah, this is totally unclassy of me, but like, am I getting paid? I don't understand what's going on. Like, what's my actual position? Like, what am I doing? And they're like, yeah, you don't know? Yeah, you are getting paid. Oh, you didn't apply for a job? I'm like, yeah, like, you know, and then I'm
Um,
just kind of telling them like, well, like, honestly, I applied for an internship, but you guys gave me a job, which is 10 times, 40 times even better. So, yeah, and then they were like, oh, wow, yeah, good, okay. And so I just kind of got a job thinking I was not getting paid, and it was really weird.
How funny.
that is funny. That is. And you know what I just found out this week about internships is that so if you already have a job and you are employed in the place that you want to be employed, you can the appeal it.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah. One of my husband's friends told him that, and they're in the process of doing it. And so, I mean, they're in business, but I don't see why it would be different for us because, I mean, we're all adults, we're working.
Exactly.
I mean, it seems like that would make sense.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, so then, and then they just waive it, and then I mean, I'm sure you have to have enough credits to graduate, but
Yeah,
if that
exactly.
part's taken care of, then yeah, I don't know. So that's so cool. I wish that my internship, I wish something like that would just, I don't know. I'm super stressed about my internship right now.
Yeah, I
So,
definitely was too because like this was like the only internship in town, like literally. And then all of a
mm.
sudden it wasn't an internship and it was a job, and I'm like, God is good.
That's awesome. Okay. All right. So, um,
I actually like this model for some
I
reason.
did too. I
So,
liked this model a lot.
so we should be recording, right? Mine says off air on the upper corner.
Yeah, yeah, mine's recording. Yeah, it's
Oh,
all good.
okay. I don't know why it says off air on mine. Okay.
Um, so yeah, I liked this one. This just seemed to make, even though there were so many more steps, it just seemed to make more sense than some of the other ones.
Yeah.
Um, it seemed to flow a little bit better, and I really liked the scenarios that they gave us to work with. Like, I mean, it seems like, yeah, like this is good stuff or like something that we could rely on. In fact, I'm using it in another class this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
cool.
because I liked it. Yeah. But okay. Um. Oh wait. So another thing, I don't really know if I got the from last week. I don't really know what we were supposed to. How were well, I guess we can cross that bridge in a minute, but I am not really sure how we were supposed to fill it out using the 8 models. Like when I looked at it from that perspective, that confused me even more. Or the 8 theories, I mean, not the 8 models.
I actually didn't even go back. You know, after I saw like the email, I was like, oh, like it seems so obvious after the email, but then I'm like, the homework did not clarify anything. It was just kind of like, yeah, go back about 10 lessons and figure it out. You know, it didn't even
Right.
mention anything. It was just like, okay, like I'm supposed to memorize all that? Like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, and then like when you were talking about that with the homework, I was kind of thinking in my head, yeah, like either way, I probably would have done it somewhat wrong, you know,
Yeah.
maybe in the teacher's eyes. So,
I don't think that's what, see, and that's what my concern is. So I'm trying to look up for our assignment for today, because I still don't really totally understand how we were supposed to do it then in that way. Like it seems like there's just too much stuff to get done. I don't, because we had to go like step by step. Well, I guess we'll just see. So what do we
All right,
need to,
so do you want me to tell you how I did it today?
yeah.
Whether or not it's right, I have no idea. But so like for instance, on the first step to, and I don't have it right in front of me because I'm driving, but so the first step where you go from preparation to the next step, I can't remember what it is, contemplation. It's like I can't remember it, but in a way that you progress from that phase to the next phase. So you just find which of those those interventions with it. So like for instance, hold on.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it doesn't totally matter if, I mean, do we have to do another assignment like that today? That's what I'm
it's a
more,
little similar, it looks like.
okay. Because like in our
Oh, go ahead.
in our health planning, or wait, the other one that I'm taking that's almost exactly like this class, but they're like they ask us, it seems like, you know, you get into a rhythm and then they want the same questions, and so if it's like the same, I don't know, anyway, but I'm trying to find the instructions for today. Let's see.
So were you guys
Oh, here we go.
was talking?
What?
So could you guys hear me when I was explaining how I did it? Because my phone cut out weird.
Yeah,
Oh,
it might
yeah.
have cut out.
Yeah, no, we didn't hear very much.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. So like as you're advancing from one phase to the next, you know how it has like self realization and you know, like it has those cues that lead you from one phase to the next to progress. So you find which of those 8 models is the kind of intervention that you would want to do. So for example, if it's one that talks about changing your environment, then the environmental strategies is what you.
Oh, so then it didn't really have anything to do with the model that we learned that week? Mm.
Oh,
Did she really cut out this time?
yeah, she's not even in the.
Oh yeah, she's not, huh? Oh well, I don't have my I'm gonna run and go get a hair tie. Hold on just a minute.
Okay.
All right, this totally sucks. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that. We were like, yeah, she really cut out this time.
Yeah. Okay. So, so my, yeah, I guess I'm just, well, we'll talk about it more. Maybe it'll just make more sense to me as we go along and, you know, kind of get in we'll see this week and yeah, and see. So if it's like super important, I'm sure it'll start kind of clicking in a minute. So,
Yeah.
okay. So then we group leaders. So then we've got this relevance taken care of. Where's our assignment? Oh, the relevance assignment. I probably just kept on skipping over it. Oh wait, it doesn't. Yeah, where are the instructions for it? I should be able to find it easily. Do you guys
For the
remember?
homework?
Are you talking about the application assignment?
Oh, is that what we're supposed to do together? Is the application one?
Well, the relevance has our agenda, so we need to go down the relevance instructions.
Yeah.
And then the application is the end where we kind of talk about that assignment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, and I just figured that so we don't have to do this by ourselves then? We do this together?
No, I think at the end of our agenda, it just says that we can talk about the application assignment.
What
We
we're
aren't gonna
doing?
do it together. No.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh my goodness. All my classes are like melting together, like what we needed to do together and what we don't need to do together. Okay. So, yeah, let's go down the agenda because I really like this model and I really like the scenarios. I think it's pretty like,
Like straightforward.
yeah,
Relatable.
yeah, yeah.
What was really interesting about the reading, which I don't know if maybe like I just skipped something like with the other stuff, but like the reading talks about the stages and it goes like with the normal stuff like the contemplation,
Yeah.
preparation, but then instead of ending with maintenance, it ends with termination, which I was kind of like that's what kind of got me a little confused, just because it says it's defined as no temptation to relapse and 100% confidence. I like I think that's a little like impossible type of thing, you know? That I feel like everyone always relapses a little bit. You know, it's for example, like if this is talking about like doing exercise, you know, like yeah, I know people that have been like 10 years straight exercise like every day almost type of thing. But even they have said that they have taken some time off, so to speak, like maybe
Yeah.
like 6 months where things got a little rough, you know, and they kind of like really didn't work out at all. And so I feel like that's not real, like,
Real life.
yeah, like I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of that's how I felt like too, because like even in Alcoholics like Anonymous, they say that they will always be a drinker, you know, like they have to be able to understand or just be humble enough, or I don't know if that's the right word, but realistic enough to treat themselves like they're always going to have this temptation. And so and I'm sure it's like with smoking too would be the same way. So I think, and I don't, just with our like our spiritual beliefs, I think the only person that can actually take away our desire to or give us a desire is Heavenly Father. Like I think that that's like That's where the atonement. So I don't know it, but you know, I mean, I guess if this is like I don't know, but so it's just a little unrealistic.
Yeah, that's true. Well, like just in my head, like maybe I'm just overthinking it type of thing, but like I feel like termination, like that word is like almost like the 0.02% of the population could maybe say that
Yeah.
is true, you know?
Right. Yeah, like, well, and I would even imagine, like, let's take our scenarios, you know, with video games. So does that mean that, like, these guys that are playing video games a lot, does that mean that they get to the termination point that they're never going to want to play ever violent? I mean, like, so is it like either you play violent video games or you just never desire to play them at all? Or, I mean, it seems to me like the situation would need to be I don't really see I see a problem with violent video games, but if you were to play one like once a month, I don't see I mean, like that's fine in my mind as long as you're not addicted to it, you know. But
Exactly.
so yeah.
Yeah, that's really
That's
interesting.
interesting. That's an interesting thought. That is. Okay, so and then let's talk about our scenarios for a second because I want to like with the video games and with even with your like loved one when they're like in the pre-contemplation stage and they don't want to change at all. I mean, what do you do?
Yeah. I mean,
So, man, I wish I had my notes in front of me. So there is there's a way to move somebody from the pre-contemplation to the whatever the next phase is.
Oh,
I
really?
don't have my notes in front of me. Yeah, it was part of our reading. So it's how to progress from one stage to the next.
Oh, like it's something that I should have already read?
Yes, that was part of our reading.
Huh. Okay. So how to get somebody to progress. Let me write that down. From from pre-contemplation to contemplation.
Right.
Right.
And this will be part of the application assignment. You'll need to know all those as well.
Okay. Because of course you can't just like tell them all the reasons why because they're not like even I mean, I think that that's what you start off doing and wanting to do. Like, this is the reason why you can't play violent video games and like start listing all of the, like as a parent or whatever, you know, this isn't good for you and this, and then.
So that's exactly what that covers. So one of the things that you can do is increase their awareness of the effects of their behavior and of the negative problems that are associated with that behavior.
And so, but doesn't that come off as like a lecture or is it just the way that you do it?
Well, are you looking at it from a parent perspective or from a health promotion specialist?
Oh, that's true, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Or even, well, but like, even like, let's say like if you were to take number 2, where it says you have a roommate, is it a roommate or a mental or a loved one that is dealing with depression, but is not seeking help? So like, even if that person's like really close to you though, how do you, but I mean, yeah, if you look at it from a health profession or a health as a professional, then that's your job to be like,
yeah,
this is where you're at.
Right.
That's interesting.
Well, and sometimes you can be that blunt with your friends too, you know, like, look, depression is a big deal. Is this how does this affect your life? What are you enjoying anything? You know, just kind of bringing to their awareness of what's going on, really.
that's true.
Yeah.
Like, I like the video. Well, like, I saw some of. Well, it was a video that was like in the I guess like the reading area. I don't know where I saw where we had to see a video on YouTube, but then I started seeing some other videos that were like related and just really interesting, just because they kind of added their own little like I guess you could say opinions to like a better understanding, and I just kind of took it as it being like a very positive model, like trying not to make them like make it too negative, because when it's like too negative, it kind of makes you take a.
Oh, we lost Abe again.
Yeah, we lost Abe. Abe,
We just keep dropping
That's-
off.
is he? Oh yeah, he is gone. He's not on our little thing.
He'll be back.
Yeah, but that's what, because I've noticed even, you know, like with visiting teaching companions and just different things. I mean, not me personally, but when I was in Relief Society, like the presidency, and we would try to get people to go together, they would be like, well, I've tried to tell her, you know, this and that, and she just doesn't get it. And you're like, well, because you're, I mean, there were some pretty big health concerns, but it just seems to me, so there is a, like what he was saying, there's probably a positive way to do it.
Well, and that's interesting when you look at the picture too. It says at the very beginning you want to focus on the positive benefits of changing the behavior. It's not until you want to keep motivating them that you start focusing on the negative.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see that. I don't think I really paid attention to that little area down there. Okay. So just about like if we were to take scenario 2, then, or even this would even work with scenario 1, it would just be like, think about, well, if they're guys, you know, and they're playing 16 to 20 hours, you know, think about the dates that you can go on, or the, you know, just the hanging with friends and the relationships, or just the homework that's probably getting neglected, and stuff like that, or, you know, just the feeling good about yourself.
Right.
And,
like, do you want a good job? Do you want to be able to get married? Like the kind of focusing on the positive benefits. Yeah.
And then so for number 2, it would be like,
I would say like, do you feel like you're a positive, happy person in general? Don't you want to be that positive, happy person again? You know, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that your life can be better, or it can be, because that's a good, I think when dealing with somebody in depression that's close to you, I felt like they've forgotten just that their life can be better, you know, and so they've just kind of gotten into this little, like, just in this little place where they've just forgotten, I get, you know, that it can be enjoyable. And so, yeah, that's a good point. Okay. So then the contemplation. Well, should we go through all these steps? Does it look like he's coming back? Oh, there he is.
Yeah, he's back.
All right. We're not having very good luck today.
Yeah, with the technical issues.
Yeah. So what part?
I'm trying to drive stick and hold my phone with one hand. I'll kill myself.
So Abe, when did you come in? What were we talking about? We'll catch you up.
I think I came in exactly like I guess I stepped out, and then I came in right away, and then you were talking about man, what were you talking about as soon as I came in? Well, you guys are talking about like the positive positive reinforcement.
Yeah, so we were just talking about how not to make it sound like a lecture and stuff. I don't know. But okay. So yeah, good. So should we go through all of the different steps, or what should we, how else should we?
What does the agenda say?
The agenda says, I think just to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Briefly discuss a quick review of the model, summarize, discuss the process and how they relate to the stages and the model. So I guess we maybe do go through each one. Oh, and then it does say what kind of interventions centered on the processes move people through the stages.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's the part that is a little confusing. What kind of interventions centered on the processes?
In the reading, table like basically almost in the beginning, table 5.1 talks about the stages of change. You know, like the six that they mentioned. Then like, underneath there's like the processes of change, which is really good just because with the table in lesson 3 that we did for homework, like kind of comparing those interventions and the descriptions and the examples to what the processes of change are, like you can kind of see like what the homework assignment is kind of going by. You know, like you kind of see like, for example, like the first process of change, the consciousness raising, like finding and learning new facts, ideas, and tips that support the healthy behavior change. Like if you kind of go back to like the model, you could kind of maybe like it could kind of fall into like different little categories, like interventions. I mean, but it could kind of be like a health educational strategy, and you could kind of maybe do like a workshop, so to speak, like a face-to-face thing, and maybe talk to them about new ideas and tips that have come recently to help them say exercise.
Yeah. So then like with the self-efficacy or the progress, the power, or the, what do they call it? The processes of change, or the processes of, so that's what helps move people, or that, I guess just that
I think I
like
know what
that.
you're talking about.
Oh, but that's what you were talking about. So, let me see. Okay. Yeah.
It's really look, what's really cool too, like in the reading, I forgot that like I kind of I kind of skimmed a lot of it, but this part like there's like a little equation that says like impact equals reach times efficacy, which is kind of true because like, well, that part kind of gets me like a little confused with the efficacy because I kind of think of efficacy as like like a self thing, you know, like you kind of see it better in yourself, even though you could see it in others as well. But like reaching out, like more of like a health educator, like you have to kind of reach these people and then multiply that by the efficacy, you know, would like equal an impact, you know, which is true, you know, because like depending on how you get, like how you reach them, you know, through like the interventions, like the impact would either be the same or better.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just pulling up my reading because That's one of the things I guess I didn't really. So, like, if we were to use the model or just the, if we were to think of like the model with the different constructs, is the pre-contemplation, the actual changes, but then we think of the processes as like the motor, the push, to get them to
Do something, right?
do something. I think is kind of an interesting.
Yeah.
And there were models or tables in the reading that helped with that. Yeah, like you said, how you were talking over here about self-efficacy. So, well, I guess, yeah. So we talk about that. We talk about, because I think I understand it in that way now. And does everybody else feel like they could understand? Do you feel like?
Yeah, I think I kind of understand, like, because like it was like I guess like what I didn't grasp from the like the reading and the videos was the actual push factor, I guess you could say. Like
Yeah.
what like the processes of change itself, like you could tell me, like for example, like say I'm in pre-contemplation and you can tell me about some negative things about not exercising and positive things, like how I feel, but it's still not like, because like that happens every day. I mean, if you watch TV, how many commercials are there of testimonials of people that lost, say, like 100 pounds off of a certain exercise and how they feel great? That's basically the exact same thing, just kind of commercialized. But still, there's people that still like stay in pre-contemplation, and so like that push factor was something that was interesting to me. Kind of like using like other models, kind of like personality kind of comes into like the mix a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and then that's kind of my, like, because just dealing, like, so for in seminary, right, when I teach, and there will be kids that I think are like seriously addicted to their phones, and they cannot, and there's like certain games that they will play together, and so it's super addictive, and they have a really hard time putting it down. So what I've been trying to just keep in mind with this, and like with these behavioral models in the back of my mind, is that it has to be really relevant to them. So whatever, like, so they have their phone and they're sitting here playing, and they can say, I'm listening, I'm just playing at the same time. And so but until I think that the message is actually relevant for them, like, no, this is really what this message means to a 14-year-old boy at this moment in your life. Like, then like, and like with the example with the testimonials, as you're sitting on your couch, like watching TV, and you see people like losing all this weight and stuff like that, that's not super relevant to me because I'm having fun eating my pizza right now and watching this movie or whatever, and so like it is more fun to just do what I'm doing right now. And so this, like, the relevancy, I think it's just an art or a fine line between figuring out how to make it really relevant to them without making it feel like you're like jumping down their throat at the same time.
Exactly.
So because the only way that you can make it relevant is by personalizing it. Like, you know what, this is for you, you need this. So I think, I don't know. That's what from a health, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it.
The key is to get them to do this themselves. So asking questions that kind of lead them down the path to realize that they're not where they want to be. You know, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? How do you want to feel? How do you want to look? What do you want to be able to do? And so asking those questions kind of helps them realize that they're not in a position where they need to be.
Oh, so it's through questions, then you think, like, you would,
I think that's the most beneficial. Whenever I've been intervened on behalf of, like my nutritionist that sat down and talked with me, those are the kind of questions she asked me. Like, what do you want out of life? What do you want to have more energy? Do you want to be able to hike up a mountain? Like, tell me what you want out of life. And that's what helped guide me to realize that, okay, I got to change some things if I want to be able to achieve what I want to get to. Yeah, my goals.
yeah. But at the same time, you probably did this in her office, right?
Right.
So you were probably like in the preparation stage,
Right.
which,
Well, I was really kind of there to fix another issue, though, and she really helped me get motivated to work on the food issue that.
Oh, she cut out.
oh, but I think that's pretty insightful to kind of help. So then, as like the coach or as the person that keeps them moving along, is to ask those questions and help them to stay focused on, just what it is that they really, really want.
Oh, she's back now.
Okay.
I'm back.
Okay,
Sorry.
good.
I don't remember where did I leave off?
Oh, but so like what you
There
were
was another
saying,
issue.
yeah, it wasn't, and so she was helping you understand that there was another issue, and so, like that's what you were saying.
Right. So I was seeing her about, for instance, I was seeing her about my acid reflux issues, and she was the one asking me the questions that saying, if you don't change your eating, you're never going to fix this acid issue. And so that kind of helped me be motivated to change my eating, even though like I had tried for 2 years and it was just fail. So, but it was that push from her that just basically said, the reason why you're coming to see me is the very reason why you need to change your eating habits. So.
Oh, I see.
Right. So finding whatever they want to accomplish soon and relating that to the problem at hand. Maybe there's some way to help gain readiness to get started with that.
Mm-hmm. That makes, so you see what's like important to them, and then make it relevant. I mean, make it like, put it in the framework of, that this is costing you. I mean, if we take it to the video games, like maybe they don't really see themselves getting married next year or whatever, but like they want better grades or whatever. So you would have to know them to know what's important, and then use that to help them see that it's going to be affected if they keep on that path of, so it's just asking questions. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. And then just keep on asking questions through the.
And this is where those 8 things come in handy. So right in this phase, we're trying to get them to realize the long-term health problems associated with this behavior, or the long-term whatever associated with this behavior. So that is where like health education strategies come in, which is one of the 8 things. So you use a health education strategy intervention to help educate them about the long-term effects of that bad behavior. So that's where it's talking about taking those 8 things and how do you jump them from one phase to the next?
Oh, I see. Okay. So then they're kind of asking us to put models inside of models. Does that make sense?
I don't know if I would use the word models. They're innovation and they're intervention strategies that you use within that model to advance them to the next phase.
Okay. Okay. So like, for example, for our 390 or my 390 class, like we're doing a project where we're trying like smoking intervention in among the Native Alaskans. And so like a lot of Alaskans like to just really like to smoke. Like there's a high percentage. It's like almost 50% of adults smoke among Alaskan Natives. So like our readiness or our pre-contemplation is just sending out like public. Yeah. I get it. And I even get how we're doing it in different ways. It's just, that's just an interesting. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So, what else do we talk about? If we all kind of we like feel like we're understanding it. Oh, here's and I think that you guys were telling me about this and I just found it, but where the processes of change, that consciousness of the consciousness raising, dramatic relief. I forgot about that one. So produces increased emotional experiences, self-reevaluation, environmental reevaluation, self-liberation. Okay. Good. Well, then what else do we talk about?
I think
Are we
kind of like,
I think we're kind of done.
But we did everything.
Yeah, I think, yeah, that's what I think too. I think we jumped around, but I think we covered pretty much. We talked about pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation. Oh, we didn't talk very much about action. But
Action.
Sorry, I just got home. I was talking to my family for a second. What's going on?
oh, that's okay. We were just trying to see what we haven't talked about. And I think the only step that we didn't talk about was action, which I don't know. I think we've
I mean, it's basically just kind of like, from what I'm reading from the notes, like, just like you've done some modifications already in the past 6 months. Kind of like you may not exercise that much, but you kind of maybe start doing some sit-ups in bed, maybe like 3 sit-ups in bed every morning for the past 6 months. Like you're kind of like somewhat getting into exercising.
Yeah. And then like so then my notes say that self-liberation goes along with that. So then the self-liberation is both the belief that one can change and the commitment and recommitment. So yeah, I think to act on that belief. So testimonials are helpful in this situation. So once you're already starting along that path of, or then that's when those TV ads are the most like powerful.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then social. So then, yeah. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. Well, yeah.
Hey, if I suddenly go and never come back, it's because my phone has died. Just FYI.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah,
Well,
I think we're almost done anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't think of anything else to actually. I feel pretty confident in doing the homework. Yeah. And so yeah.
Yeah,
Then
I'll definitely hand everything in the assignment, like the Word document and all that with the link.
oh, for our like little video thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. Well,
Awesome. Thank you.
yeah, thank you. And yeah, I guess it's good. We'll call it a day. We met I can kind of see now why they put the time requirement, like how easy it would be to just say, yeah, I like this model. And then you're like done in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But you're like, as we're kind of just trying to mull it over what it works. Anyway, so, but we're done. So like
Yeah, I think next Saturday might be our last meeting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was kind of looking into like the future, and like we have one next Saturday, and then the Saturday after that we have like 3 discussion boards that week. Like it's a little different, and then then the weeks after that, it's not posted because I think it's like too far into the future, so I can't see any like homework assignments or anything.
Oh,
But
right.
it looks like it might be done because school's almost somewhat done. So
Yeah.
I don't know
Isn't that
how much,
crazy?
like how many meetings we'll probably have left, but
Okay, well, I'll take next week if that works out. Like, yeah. So I'll take that next week. I'll do the recording or whatever next week.
okay.
So, but yeah, perfect. Wow, that makes me feel kind of happy. Not just that it's going by fast. So.
She doesn't want to talk to us anymore. That's okay.
Oh, I only have 1 semester. That's the same with you too, Abe, right? You only have 1 semester after this?
1 semester. That's it.
Yeah. So it is.
Oh, I got like 4 more.
Oh.
This is like, I loved school a year ago.
I love it.
This is awful. Like it's just so, everything's like melting in together and nothing really makes sense.
Yeah.
So, and anyway, but it does come to an end, so that's cool. So
That's true.
All right, guys. Well, I'll see you next week then.
Absolutely. See you guys. Have a good weekend.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye.